So we're going to show you how we field dress every animal in the state of Alaska, and starting with the hardest animal to deal with, a moose, because it's so big. We do every single critter this way, and if you haven't seen the video of the hunt of this bull, it'll be the previous video on this channel, and then this is just the field dress portion, instructional how-to. And the very first thing we're going to start with is just a gear list. You need game bags, big ones, the thick brand, not the thin kind. At least 8 game bags is what you're going to need for a whole moose. Sometimes we'll have a tarp. Do we have a tarp with us?
Yep, we have a tarp.
Okay, we got a tarp for ribs. Stiff blade knives, Havilon knives, a couple different options there. Something to cut bones with for the rib section, and trash bags to line the inside of the backpacks. And the very first thing we'll start with is a dorsal cut. A lot of people try to roll the moose on its back or whatever and get the guts out right away, and we deal with the guts at the very, very end. We'll try to get into the messy stuff at the end once all the meat we can anyway, is moved and bagged and cleaned. So we'll start as they lay right here without having to try to roll them over or anything. Start with a dorsal cut from the tail all the way up between the antlers. And then we'll pull the hide off one side, get the head off where we can move it around easier, and start from there.
This video is for educational purposes only of our traditional family practices of how to field dress moose. Its intended purpose is to help future hunters or new hunters to Alaska know what they're dealing with as far as field dressing a big Alaska bull moose.
So we're just trying to follow right on the spine, perfectly down the middle, because we need to use this hide to cover the ribs up when we go to roll them after one side.
The last couple of times I've taken a plastic bag and stuck that to the ribs.
But either way, right down the top of the spine. Tip for you guys, if you haven't done this at all before, you're not like cutting butter with a butter knife. You're sliding the knife through the skin underneath and going underneath and pulling up, underneath and pulling up. And moose, especially on the back, the hide's so thick, you're not going to be able to just slide it nice and easy. It's kind of a hack chop job, as you'll see here. But other critters like caribou, sheep, black-tailed deer, whatever else you're hunting, they have a lot thinner skin, so you can kind of make longer, nicer, cleaner cuts.
I think caribou will probably eat these.
Yeah. Caribou, you can pull a lot of the hide off. Not so much have to skin it all. Don't cut your hunting partner either. That's happened before.
Cut toward your buddy, not toward yourself.
All right. Close. After you connect that dorsal cut, he's cut from right between his antlers all the way to the tip of his tail. Then we'll take and basically go from the dorsal cut down below the knuckle and the foot, right down the center of the ham. And then if you're not going to save the shoulder cape, you can go right down the center of the front shoulder too. If you are going to save the shoulder cape, go right from here to the center.
Here's fine, because they don't mount moose past the...
Well, I always like to try to leave extra.
Yeah, the taxidermist likes you to leave extra, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So this one we're going to take here, and then we'll decide after we're done.
But either way, all the way down to in front of the lower joint on the leg. So I'm actually going to start down here below the joint and go right up the center of the ham. Show this without showing too much blood, but yeah, picking up on the skin, sliding the knife underneath, coming up like that, picking it up, so you're not cutting into the meat, going down that membrane between the leather and the meat. always trying to keep dirt and hair off and away from your meat. Anyway, we got 2 cuts made to the dorsal. Now we can start taking this dorsal back. Pulling the skin back, following this membrane between the meat and the leather. Yes.
Kind of a poor time to ask, but yes, that's right. It's the first thing that needs done is to cut your tag.
Yeah. Yeah, just take your time. The most important thing is keeping this meat nice and clean. Taking as good of care of it as you can, as possible.
The butcher shop will appreciate you.
Butcher shop will appreciate you, and it's just respect for the spirit too. We want the best table fare we can get, so we need to keep it as clean and as hair and dirt free as possible. So Dad's gone all the way up to here, and then around each horn, boss, kind of skinning the head off that way. Okay, so we're just about where we can start pulling meat. Basically take the hide off everything you can reach. Ring around the top 2 feet, and then this is where it helps to have 2 people. Pick a leg up and go to take it off. Do the back leg, do the front leg, do all the neck meat, do all the back strap, and then we'll cover the ribs, flip it over, and do the other side. By yourself, you kind of have to do it like this. Pull the leg up, hold it up on your shoulder, and you can work the skin on the underside. Ugh. I never got myself. Do we want to? I like to take the leg off before I cut the shoulder loose because you got something to hang onto it with. Personally. Okay. Whatever you want to do. I'm gonna get rid of your blade that's sitting here. Sawzall's way easier. Well, fly back to town and get it, Dad. I will. For the next one. Ta-da. You can also take that joint apart with a knife, but it's easier with a
saw. This part kind of takes some practice, but you're just taking the muscle groups together. So everything involved with the shoulder is going to come with the shoulder.
Keeping all the hair off the meat that we can, as these are hairy critters. Okay, this is the game bag you got ready?
Yep. You want me on the other side so I can catch that thing? Well, you need to come over here and
right
start
where
here.
you're at, yeah, but let me get this top seam cut.
Definitely want to get your game bag ready before you cut this thing loose, because anywhere from 85 to 100 pounds on the front shoulder. Could be more than that, but the front shoulders are lighter than the hams.
Move that shoulder. Okay.
Ready?
Oh, dang it! Filleted me open.
Shit, that's not
It's
good.
fine. It's fine.
That's not a good one.
It's not a bad one.
Yeah, that was pretty
Just
bad.
skin the knuckle.
That was deeper than that, I thought.
No, it didn't even get to the meat.
Did you do it with your knife or with the
Mhm. No,
broadhead
with a
that's
knife.
in there?
Not with a knife. Okay,
Ouch.
I'm ready to keep going here.
Well, that looked deeper than what you're laying it off to be. So we've kind of cut all the way around, hit the seam. I'm gonna catch this thing right on my knee. Almost
You got
lost
it?
it.
Where did
Yep.
the bag go? You're standing on it.
We always put the shoulder in from the top of the shoulder down into the bottom of the bag. That way you got your leg bone poking out the top, so we can use it to tie the legs up on the meat pole. Okay, why don't you clamp your finger and make sure you did it?
That's fine.
Well, you stuck yourself pretty good.
It's not even bleeding because it's just in the surface.
So, anyway, that's fine for now.
Be careful.
So it's the same thing for all the other muscle groups. Back strap will come with one, ham, neck meat, brisket. Then we'll cover the ribs and flip it and do the other side. All right, we just got the ham off with evidence of sex attached. So that's one of the laws here in Alaska on single sex hunts. So we always do it on the first ham just so you're not forgetting it later. Now we'll do backstrap, neck meat, brisket. So you can see here I'm working on brisket and neck meat, and my dad's working on getting the backstrap off. It's real important to take your time when you're working on backstrap and neck meat, because there's a lot of tight bones and little knobs and stuff on the spine and on the neck that you got to really work your way around each bone in order to get every little scrap of clean meat off, and it's real important to do that. All right, got everything on this side, and then we got our plastic bag stuck to the ribs, so we can flip this sucker over. Just doing the inside of the legs before we flip it, so you don't have to work upside down on the other side. Okay, well, I got this side. I got this side done. Ready? Not really, but okay. You want to do the back, since the front's usually heavier. This leg's not very extended. 1, 2, 3. There we go.
Be nice to hold it just like that.
Don't just let it go.
Go
We got to take all the meat off.
It's gonna go in whole.
That's fine. Perfect. Now that we got them rolled over, we just got to do the same thing we did on the other side. Basically, instead of peeling it dorsal side down, since we already have the inside of each leg skinned, we'll just roll it this side up. And then pull the back strap, the neck meat, brisket, shoulder, and ham. All right, now that we got the majority of all of our meat off, nice and clean, and we'll finally get into gutting this thing and pulling the ribs on one side, and then tenderloins, both front and back tenderloins, and then we'll flip them over, do the same thing on the other side. So we're just following right down the very edge of the spine with the saw, and almost basically there's a joint on each rib that we're trying to cut down the middle of. And here you can see we're cutting the diaphragm that separates heart and lungs from the guts, real close to the rib there. Anyway, the ribs can be done with a knife, but on a moose especially, it's very, very difficult because those joints are big and strong. So you can do it if you forgot your saw or don't have one with a knife, but it's tough, let me tell you. So we just prefer to do it with a saw.
Ready for a knife right there. Short rib. Watch it, not about to fall. Okay. Okay, I need a bag.
Set this back up on there.
Let's set it on this game bag over here. It's clean.
So there you go. Heart, lungs, stomach. And right there you have 90% of all the meat clean and away from the guts before you ever get in there. There's a tenderloin here to grab, and then we'll flip it over. We got that garbage bag on the ribs on the other side. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Get the tenderloin. It's actually the forward tenderloin to grab too. That, and you'll be pretty much done. Nice clean rib side. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus the antlers is 8. 8 loads. But yeah, that's it.
One of our very important rules with moose hunting is we never, ever, ever shoot a moose more than a mile from the runway. And I would say if you're a truck hunter or a four-wheeler hunter, you do the same thing. Don't ever shoot one more than a mile from where you can get a vehicle. Because with 8 loads, that's 16 miles round trip and really, really heavy packs, and you'd be miserable if you shot one a mile away. This one's about 1,000 yards from the tent, maybe 1,200.
Back shortly. 1 load down, 7 to go.
Go to the tent, grab some more rope and tie some more loops.
Yep.
On that end, because this is about to bust in the middle.
Yeah, she's kind of an old tree. We walk under here with our packs and get a rope tied on your load, and then you can kind of just fall out of the pack. That's the idea anyway. Taking a break, get some food. And we got 3 more loads total. And 2 of them are all the loose meat, but we split the loose meat up into 2 bags this time. You can put it all into 1 bag, but that's usually the heaviest load then if you have all the backstrap, brisket, neck meat, all to combine. So 2 light loads and then just the antlers. All right, there you go. Field dressed moose. I think this is the best way to do it. We always get compliments for the last, I don't know, since I can remember, from our butcher that all of our stuff always comes back the cleanest and the best out of anybody's stuff that gets brought into the butcher shop. So that's what we go for every time, and hope you guys leave whatever questions or comments, or no, that's not how you do it right, comments in the bottom of this video. Thanks for watching.
Got big tides right in my eyes. Gotta be careful of those as you're going through the brush. Yep. Kill site. Just got the hide stretched back over the gut pile. Everything's already back to camp. And we're ready to get the horns back to camp. Last load this morning.